So Chantal, welcome. How are you?
Hi, Lauren. Well, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I've come out of self-isolation for just a short moment. Um,
Yes.
Chantal, just for the audience so they know, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do in Gundawindi?
Yeah, sure. So I'm a psychologist and I have been a psychologist in Gundawindi for over 10 years. And I'm also running a business called Resting Places of the Birds, which actually is the meaning of Gundawindi. And what I do there is design bespoke wellbeing seminars and workshops for businesses and for community groups. So I've had a lot of fun doing that. They either come to me on my beautiful farm space here in my beautiful garden, or I go to them. So I've been doing that all around the region.
Yes,
Yeah.
great. So just moving on to, I guess, the time that is now, you've probably noticed a lot of different things about people's mental health, and I'm sure everyone in Gundawindi and the surrounds have noticed that too. I mean, what are normal feelings to be having at the current time?
Absolutely. One of the things I've noticed is exhaustion, because we've all had to rapidly get up to speed with so much in such an unusual environment. If we're still working, a lot of us have had to try to get across technology and understanding what that actually means for us and our clients and our customers. Working in a new space at home, is quite unusual for a lot of people. And that also means not only kind of doing the work that you would be trying to do or just, operating normally in your daily life, but doing that with others in your household. So there's a whole new set of relationships or relationship stresses that are going on there, and working out how to actually make that okay is can be very exhausting and very draining. So probably exhausting is one of the words that I've heard people talk about a lot.
Yeah.
Bewildered and overwhelmed, are certainly feelings that are coming out. It's a bit of a shocking kind of experience for all of us, and I think grief is certainly something that people are talking about, also grief and loss, because we've really lost so much in this process, but we've also gained a lot. So we have to kind of remember that. Hmm.
And when it comes to good mental health, Chantel, I mean, let's talk through maybe 5 things to ensure that you have good mental health during this time. What would you say is number one?
Well, one of the things, as I said before, we've lost a lot, and one of those, or a couple of those losses are around connection. Um, so for me, one of the biggest things people can be doing is making sure that they connect and maintain connections. Um, so essentially, humans aren't meant to be alone. We don't really enjoy being lonely, not for long periods of time. I kind of put it in the category of being thirsty or hungry. If you're starting to feel that sense of loneliness, you've got to. That's kind of your body's alarm system going off, saying, "Come on, I need some people around me. I need to make contact with others." So connection is number one for me. So obviously we can't do that face to face or the way we normally would do it or prefer to do it perhaps. So that's about, how lucky are we that this has happened during the age of technology.
Hmm.
So use technology to connect, absolutely. The second thing would be, after connection, would be routine. And I talked about loss, or dramatic loss of routine in our life, which has created exhaustion and overwhelm, and all sorts of emotions have come up for us because of that loss of routine. And not only for us, but for our children, for our partners, the other people in our lives. So getting routine back in your life is really important. Um, and that includes making sure that you've got good sleep hygiene. It's very easy just to stay up late at night and get out of bed later in the morning because no one's really kind of watching you. And it's also easy to kind of slip into bad patterns of eating. The kitchen's just there, or just go and have a little graze, or pour yourself too many coffees during the day. So it's really important to kind of maintain some health and some routine in your day. Exercise is incredibly important. It's kind of easy just to kind of lounge around on the couch or not do too much movement, too much exercise. Don't get yourself into that habit. Make sure you keep going outside if you can, because that's really for our well-being. Setting goals. Now, these goals might be a little bit different to what they were before all of this happened. So we still need goals. We still need a sense of purpose. We still need a reason to get out of bed in the morning and feel good about ourselves. So set some new goals in this whole new world, you know, and there's lots of things you can do there, you know, taking up new hobbies, learning courses, you know, the list goes on, and there's certainly plenty of information on the internet about that. And probably the final thing I would say is make sure you're really self-aware, you're monitoring yourself. You know, if you aren't feeling great, just, you know, check in with yourself, kind of wake up in the morning and sort of say to yourself, well, how am I feeling today? How are things going with me? Am I feeling good? Am I feeling okay? Are things traveling along okay? Or am I feeling a bit overwhelmed? Am I even starting to experience some feelings of depression? You know, am I getting down? Am I getting a little bit sad? And if that's ongoing and you feel like it's affecting your day and affecting your ability to kind of go about a purposeful day and your day in a happier way, make sure you reach out and ask for help. All psychologists can now get telehealth. They're covered by Medicare. Their telehealth is covered by Medicare, so people can be billed. So if you want to ring your doctor, get a mental health treatment plan, and give your psychologist a call. Anyone, doesn't have to be me, it can be anyone. It can be anyone all over Australia now. If you're in a country town, you can call someone in Brisbane and telehealth them. Go on a webinar or telephone and be bulk billed for that. So yeah, certainly they would probably be my top tips on how to cope with a virus.
And I suppose if you don't do it every day, you know, if you do have a couple more coffees than you should, or if you eat badly for a day, I guess it's not the end of the world, is it?
It's not the end of the world. You just have to, it's all about self-awareness. It's all about, you know, I certainly kind of woke up a week ago and went, oh goodness, I'm not feeling so great physically. And I'd realised I'd kind of spent the week, you know, a bit of a chook normally. I go to bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock and get up at 5. I found, you know, I was kind of getting to that 11 p.m. before I was going to bed. I was probably having one more glass of red wine than I normally would. I was having a couple more cups of coffee during the day than I normally would. So I wasn't feeling my old self by the end of the week. And so I kind of had a bit of self-awareness around that and corrected it. Yeah.
Now, Chantal, can you just maybe explain a little bit about what you're offering during this time?
Sure, yeah. So like I said, psychologists now, the federal government recently announced that psychologists can have telehealth via Medicare. So basically what that means to patients or clients is that they can go to a GP, get a mental health treatment plan. Just, I'm not feeling so good. I think all this isolation is really getting to me. It's getting me down. Or, you know, for other reasons, I'm just not feeling great. I really want to talk to somebody. And the doctor can give you a mental health treatment plan, and you can go to the psychologist that you've nominated and be bulk billed for that. And what will actually happen is you will go online, go onto Zoom or whatever way the psychologist will work with you, or also telephone is fine, whatever you're comfortable with. So you can ring a psychologist and have a good chat with the psychologist, have some therapy, and keep that going until you're feeling better, until you're feeling like you're coping again. So that's available. I am offering face-to-face in my office under very limited circumstances, and mainly for children, for young people who I think might struggle a little bit to work with me via webinar or via telephone.
Mm-hmm. And how can people find you?
Okay, so you can look me up on my website. I've got www.chantalmasters.com.au, or you ask your GP at Gundawindi Medical Centre, if you're in Gundawindi, that is. Otherwise, yeah, you can jump online. You can jump on Facebook. I'm on Facebook on Resting Place of the Birds. Or otherwise, you can just give me a ring on, should I say my mobile number? What about that, Lauren? Yeah, you can call me 0427 623 916 if you want.
And do you also help clients outside of Gundawindi as well, if they are?
Yes, Lauren. Yeah, absolutely. So, well, now I'm in telehealth, and this is one of the positives of the virus, I suppose, of isolating. I've had to really, run to catch up with technology, and it's made me do it quickly. It's made me kind of pull my socks up and get online really quickly. So I can now talk to people, in Brizzy, Sydney, Perth, anywhere. In fact, I am going to be speaking with Perth next week. So, yeah, it's really interesting. There's no boundaries, basically, so yeah, for sure.
Great for people who need help too.
Absolutely, for anyone who needs help. Yeah, I mean, look, if you don't put up with it, it's only, it may not get better if you just sit and put up with it. You're actually better off reaching out and talking to somebody, and working through it. Absolutely. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for your tips. Really appreciate you joining us today.
Pleasure.
Perfect.
Pleasure. My pleasure.
Okay.
Laura.
Bye.